Hey everyone, it's Bob Crossen. I'm the editorial director for the Endeavor Business Media Water Group, and I am joined today by Todd Emslander. He is the CEO of Kurita America, newly appointed even. So thank you so much for taking the time and chatting with us about your new role and also an acquisition that you guys completed not too long ago. We're very interested in learning more about that. So thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me, Bob.
Yeah. So I guess first comes first. You have this merger with Avista. What does that mean for your current customers and for each of the brands, for Kurita America and for the Avista folks? What does this merger mean for them and your business?
Well, it's really exciting time for us here at Kurita America, and this merger is, one of those things that we really look forward to. So, the merger really allows us to combine the collective strengths of both companies to better serve our customers. Um, Avista, as we know, has very um, a very good past of providing specialized solutions in the process membrane
Mhm.
space, not only from just a chemistry standpoint, but from an analytical perspective, really understanding the issues around the membrane processes.
Mhm.
Uh, you know, Kurita America also has a history of supporting membrane processes as well. A lot of it, both chemically and from an operational standpoint. So merging that technology focus from Avista to the Kurita America focus really bolsters our opportunity to better support our customers in those processes.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you kind of touched on it a little bit there. Some of the things that were relatively attractive about Avista when it came to this merger. Could you describe a little more detail, kind of what were some of the thought processes that Curita America had going into this of, oh, we really like this about Avista. This is what's attractive about a business opportunity when it comes to this merger.
Sure. So to go back a little bit, Avista was part of Kurita America for the last five, or I'm sorry, part of Kurita Global for the past 5 years.
Oh, okay.
So they've been operating under Kurita, for a period of time, as long as we have here at Kurita America. So a lot of the global piece of Kurita, both companies have a very similar experience,
Hmm.
and operated as separate entities until this point. So again, really, it just makes a lot of sense,
Hmm.
operating especially in the same geographical area to combine forces, take advantage of those synergies, take advantage of all of the opportunities that Avista provides to their customers into Kurita America as a whole. Again, really rounds out our offerings to our customers in this space, and I think it is going to again, combining forces in collaboration in this space is really going to drive innovation. It's going to drive better support mechanisms for our customers, increasing or making better that customer experience, if you will, in this space. So again, there's just so many positives that come with this, and we're
Hmm.
getting a good bunch of people, right? The Avista team, their approach to the market is also very similar to what Kurita America brings. But again, so from a cultural perspective, things mesh really well. And
Hmm.
again, that collaboration we're really excited about, in seeing what that brings to us and our customers in the future.
Yeah, so it was like a familiarization of what Avista does and having that already having an established relationship and just wanting to further deepen that essentially is kind of where what it sounds like was the nexus of the idea there. Yeah. So what are some of the trends that you are seeing that are driving business in 2025 when it comes to the water and the wastewater markets? Obviously, membranes are becoming a big thing in a lot of different areas. You have more novel technologies like membrane aerated bioreactors. You have your standard reverse osmosis membrane systems. You got the whole spectrum. Membranes are just kind of everywhere these days, it seems like. What are some of the trends that you're seeing for the business overall, and how are you viewing that through the lens of having both of these companies now like very deeply entwined with one another?
Yeah, from a macro environmental piece, I mean, we were seeing a lot of, to me, water scarcity has become, a big player or a big issue, I guess, to
Hmm.
solve when it comes to, water treatment here, at least certainly in the U.S. and globally. Kurita globally is very focused on that. And again, bringing these teams together, as you mentioned, the membrane technology is a big piece about, from a water scarcity standpoint, how
Hmm.
do we use water? So again, our experiences as Kurita America, we understand that water reuse is going to be a huge driving force in solving our customers' water challenges. And again, bringing that team together is really going to help us get some innovation moving in that space
Hmm.
to help with that water scarcity issues. We've also got, we talked kind of connected to water scarcity. We have the regulatory, side
Hmm.
of things. It's as water becomes more scarce, as we understand, PFAS
Yeah.
is the big buzzword right now, and
Mhm.
mitigation and removal of those forever chemicals especially in our drinking water systems, right? Um, so those types of environmental type initiatives, I really believe are driving some of the technological advances in our industry.
Mhm.
We're also excited about the growth of industry here in the U.S. We talk about things like microelectronics. That's been big in the news, right, over the past
Mhm.
couple of years. The opportunity, to try to bring some of these industries, um, more of these industries, the right term is back to the U.S. Uh,
Mhm.
gives us a lot of opportunities for growth, but also emphasizes the need to understand the water scarcity issues, the reuse opportunities, because as we use more water, it only exacerbates some of those issues.
Yeah, 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 but whether it's data centers moving into different areas, needing a lot of water for cooling towers, or like you said, silicon manufacturing, which is also a big initiative, especially with both the last administration and the current administration trying to reshore that. That there's going to be a lot of need for water in areas that may be water strapped. So I think you're spot on with that trend assessment.
Thank you. Yep. Yeah, we're excited about it, and I think Kurita America is, even with this merger, we're poised and ready to help our customers.
Yeah, yeah. When you mentioned that being poised in that regard, what are some of the ways that you are positioned to take advantage of those particular trends, whether it's the PFAS trend, the membrane trend, or this onshoring, reshoring of manufacturing in the U.S. and that industrial user space? How are you guys positioned to take advantage of that?
So what's really exciting as Kurita, we're part of a global network organization.
Hmm.
And Kurita globally is very strong, in the space. So we have opportunities to utilize resource from our global partners, sister companies that are already operating in some of the spaces where we may not have been in the U.S.
Hmm.
So we get built-in resources, we get built-in experiences. We've got a lot of people in the company behind us supporting our efforts in these industries. So we're really excited. Uh, you know, Again, we're only 4 or 5 years into this, into Kurita America really becoming a force here
Hmm.
in North America. And we are still learning about all the opportunities that Kurita brings to bear for us from a global perspective. So I think with that and some of the initiatives that we are starting on our own, it's no secret that um, it's hard to find people nowadays,
Yeah.
especially in some of these, technical roles. And, we've kind of, in a lot of our roles, at least customer facing roles, are field based roles. It's interesting how, the demographics look at roles now versus how they did
Mhm.
in the past. And so what we're really trying to do is appeal to, some of the younger generations,
Mhm.
as far as what water treatment means to Kurita and what we feel it means to our customers, and really understand that, and build training and development programs, and
Mhm.
things that we almost have to retrain a whole new workforce for
Yeah.
us, because we have, our demographic is such that a large percentage of our workforce, especially in the field, is aging out, if you will.
Mhm.
And we've got to replace that workforce. The customers are not going away, and we need to provide that top-notch service to them. So so we're coming up with ways and opportunities to, appeal to the, younger workforce, and
Mhm.
make sure that we are positioning ourselves for success in the future.
Yeah, that's an interesting, like, that's an interesting point that you bring up because that when I think of positioning, sometimes it's like, oh yeah, well we have this product or we have that solution or whatever. But you're hitting on something that I think is it, it kind of is an undercurrent to a lot of the even the utilities that I talk to and the engineering firms that we do need to kind of work on developing like the what is the next generation of this workforce going to look like we need them to sustain our business, and we need some of the smartest people on the planet to be in these positions. So it's a very interesting thing. It sounds like that's one of the headwinds. I was going to ask you about those headwinds and tailwinds that you kind of see. Sounds like that's one of the headwinds. Are there any other headwinds that you're trying to work around right now? And what about tailwinds? Are there things that you're like, oh, we can catch the wind in our sails with that for sure? Could you talk a little bit about kind of the headwind tailwind that you're seeing for 2025?
Yeah, some of the tailwinds that we are seeing is, like I mentioned before, we have this. Historically, Kurita America is a it comes from many different companies that mergers and acquisitions that happened over the
Yeah.
last 25 years, right? So we've got a lot of, those, at the time, smaller companies, right? And we were
Mhm.
doing, mid-market, small and mid-market business. Kurita is, brand recognition is an opportunity for us here in the
Mhm.
U.S. And not only brand recognition, but our ability to do more than just maybe the smaller or mid markets, right? We're
Mhm.
looking into the heavy industrial spaces now, and we can do that because we have those resources from, our global position. So we're spending a lot of time building out those systems and processes to engage North America in a bigger, wider market perspective. So that's really exciting, and that's definitely a tailwind for us, and we're starting already to see a lot of success. Um, some of the tailwinds or I'm sorry, headwinds that we have, again, we're always dealing with, regulations. We're always dealing, in that space with our customers, and every customer has their unique challenges.
Mhm.
So it's when we talk about tariffs, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I don't like to bring up the whole tariff word because I'm certainly not an expert. I don't know that anybody is, because it changes on a daily basis. I mean, that could
Mhm.
certainly be a headwind, for us here, but everything looks like, at least for now, things are, relatively stable but
Yeah.
unstable on a daily basis, if that makes sense. Um, so it's really a lot of those economic things that could potentially turn into headwinds, supply
Mhm.
chain, things of that nature. But we've done a lot of work here at Kurita America in the last couple of years. From a supply chain perspective, we've all gone through it. During the COVID, the pandemic era, we all struggled with supply chain issues. So we've done a really good job here in, I don't want to, try to find the right word, but we've kind of almost got because of that work and that experience, we have a tariff um, resistant, if you will,
Hmm.
a product line because we've had to put a lot of work into that supply chain and be sensitive to where we get our products from. Um, just from the pandemic era, and that
Hmm.
has led into what fortunately has become a very good scenario for us in our supply chain. And not having, obviously we watch it very closely, but
Yeah.
the recent tariff impacts have been minimized by the hard
Hmm.
work of some of our people in that area.
Yeah, yeah, you were able to create kind of a robust, like you said, I think resilient is a great word for that. It's a robust and resilient, a way to maneuver when you need to still keep the business running without running into some of, like, the challenges, and like you said, the tariff thing, it all the CEOs I've talked to are saying that the on again, off again, it's really challenging to plan. It makes it very, very difficult for a business, so being like you said, if you have kind of these networks that are built that are a little more robust and resilient, it allows you to navigate that with a little like a little more agile, I guess is a way to put it, right? So that's really great to hear from your side of things.
Yeah, it's something that's on everybody's mind, right? We all watch the news every day, and we'll have a meeting one day, and the next day, well, I guess what we talked about yesterday doesn't
Yeah.
apply anymore.
Yeah, trust me, as a news person who's trying to cover it and trying to spend the energy of my news team appropriately, it's been a challenge for us too. So, well, thank you so much for chatting with us. I appreciate you taking the time, Todd, and giving us a better insight into this Avista merger and the benefits that it's bringing to the company, kind of the opportunities that it's going to allow you to capitalize on in 2025 and beyond. And we appreciate you taking the time and chatting with us today. So.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Appreciated the time as well, and it's always nice to talk about Korea from our side. So appreciate that.
Yep, of course.